So this is about how far I've gotten. I'm almost halfway. I just have this little bit here on this little corner, and then I'll do roughly the same amount on the other side of the pathway, and the forest will be done. So if we go around and take a look, I think it looks, there we go. I think it looks pretty cool. As I was working on this, I had the idea to use the wood that has the bark texture on all sides for these trees, and that would probably make it look even better. It would make it look less like a tree that's half chopped down and more like a tree that grew all twisty like they are. But I think it looks pretty amazing. They're all twisty and all that. I have thought of maybe doing some twisting the other way. So right now they're all twisting counterclockwise. So maybe adding one or two going clockwise might be nice, but I kind of like the uniformity of the trees. Actually, I can't decide if I like it or don't like it. They definitely all look very similar, probably because they're all twisting the same way. But I don't know if it's a bad thing. Maybe I'll come up with something when I go back through it and replace all the log blocks with wood blocks. But I while I was at my ship restocking because I ran out of bone meal, I noticed this sign. So it says there is a button. Look for it. So this is the first time that this has appeared at my base, but this is a little game that I came up with. I didn't start it. Someone else started it. It was Sean, but I had the idea that we could start putting buttons, hiding buttons that you normally wouldn't use. So I believe it's one of the cherry blossom wood buttons. So, I guess it's finally reached me. The idea of the game is that once you find the button in your base, you place it in someone else's base and try to hide it, and then you put a sign saying that you put the button there. And then it'll keep going like that, kind of like tag, but we're taking each other's bases instead of taking each other. And then well, I don't know. There isn't much point to this. It's just interesting and fun. So, I guess I'll be looking around for the button, and I'll probably cut to when when I find it. I hope it's not on one of the sales. That'd be annoying. So I'll cut back where I find it. Ooh, there's a kitty in here. I guess the village has started spawning cats. I think I have fish somewhere. I don't remember where I put it. Uh, did I trade it with the fisherman already? Oh, wait, I remember. There was a barrel on the little fishing boat. Um, yes. Okay. Do they take do they take tropical fish too? Um, he does not want it. Oh, there he is. Come on. Come on. Oh, what are you running away for? I'm crouching. Actually, I'm supposed to wait for them to come to me, right? Oh yeah. Ah, how many fish does it usually take? Hope I have enough. Otherwise, I might just have to leave him in here and Hope he doesn't run away and die somewhere, drown or anything. Did he? Oh, he likes salmon, doesn't he? Does he not eat salmon? Oh, he does. Guess he just didn't want any. Weird. Okay, I should really keep looking for that button. Have you guys found anything up there? Forget what I named them. I don't think I actually used the name tag. I want to say it was like Sparkle and Pip. Alright, Sparkle and Pip. You find any pink buttons around here? No. Darn. Okay. So after looking all over my ship, I finally found it. It's right there. Right at the back on the wheel that the pole that spins or turns the rudder. There we go. Cherry button. Whoa. Whoa, what is this lag? What the? Okay, sorry about that. Now that I've found the button, I'm gonna have to hide it in someone's base. And I think I'll hide it in the base of the person who built the tree farm, Curtis. So I'll be heading over there. Okay, now where to put it, where to put it? Hmm. Uh, Space isn't any more protected than it was before. You creepers, I won't let you blow up this base! There. A button abound, will it be found? Up on the mantle, a challenging battle. Let's see if he can find the button. So, I've been thinking about exactly what blocks that I want to use. Because I think just the usual spruce that I've been using for the spiral forest is a little too plain. And the leaves are kind of, what do you call it? They're not very dense, like the mangrove leaves. I wish I had spruce leaves somewhere. But anyway, so I've been experimenting with color palettes here in a creative world. Uh, I'm at a mushroom biome so that the grass is the right color of green. But I'm thinking the ground will be this, the warped nylium with mixed in with the grass, kind of in clumps. And then we'll have acacia wood, so that it's like a slightly darker gray than the tuff, and then we'll have tuff because tuff already kind of looks sparky, and I've seen it used in other builds on YouTube, and then we'll have jungle wood, stripped jungle wood that will be for like the very tip. So the base will be uh maybe like the first quarter of the height or so, or maybe a fifth, will be the acacia, and then the next section about the same size will be the tuff, and then the rest will be stripped jungle, and uh, then it'll be kind of blended together, like like you can see here, where it's not just like a single line, but there's also a little bit of moving each of the blocks next to each other kind of in so that it gets a little rougher and looks more like it's transitioning, instead of like this over here. And then I also had the idea that using stripped cherry wood, it kind of looks like a big fruit, like a giant peach, like a giant melon kind of thing. And then also maybe having some glowberries hanging down as vines. But I think normal vines would probably be better if I can find them. There we go. So we'll have vines, maybe. Can I not? Vines? Um, okay. Basically, the idea is I want it to look more like a uh, warm and wet climate, like a tropical forest kind of thing. I think the glowberries would be good for lights to make it light up, but I don't. I think I like the color of the vines better. So I'm thinking maybe the glowberries would be like hanging down at the bark level instead of from there. And then, put a glowberry there and shear it so that, oh, do I need another one? Okay. And then shear it so that it doesn't grow any further. So that's my plan for the forest, but this is definitely going to be a way in the future kind of thing. For now, I'm going to keep growing spruce trees and turning them into the twisty trees until I think the forest is dense enough. And then probably the first thing I'll be doing is I'll be collecting all of this warped nylium and filling in the ground along with the grass blocks. I just had this thought looking at the bottom of my shulker box here, but with the spiral pattern going around on the bottom, the shulker boxes might actually make a really good fruit for in the trees too. So here are a few more of my ideas for fruits. I was thinking the red glazed terracotta has the spirals on it, so that might look good. And then different colors of shulker boxes like pink, lime, light blue, and orange might look alright. But I don't think I like them as much as the, um, what's that called? A strip cherry wood. Although I do think the red glazed terracotta doesn't look bad either. Maybe if I mix them in every so often and don't have too many, then maybe it won't be so bad. They're just kind of a noisy block with all the different shades, and there's almost a white. Then it gets a little close to being black or like a darker red. Actually, that almost looks a little purple. But anyway, I don't want to use too much of the red glazed terracotta. And maybe it'll look better if it's higher up. This is a much shorter version of the tree of what one of them would look like. So maybe if you're looking from further down. Yeah, I don't think that's so bad if you look from further down. Maybe there's another one over here or something. Kind of looks like a mistletoe actually. Very red. Christmassy. Yeah, okay. That's kind of made me change my mind just now. I don't want it to look Christmassy. So yeah, I think the pink is the best option for this. And I'm still not really sure about these glowberries. It looks like I've misplaced my shulker box full of tools. It's usually right here, and it's not any of these. So I guess I'll have to go and look for it. Ha, I guess I left it here when I went to put down the button. So I'll have to have my ender chest too. Actually, I wanted to put my water bucket back. That's why I pulled it out in the first place. I'm pretty sure. Uh, there we go. Now I can figure out what I'm gonna do next. I'm thinking of maybe gathering materials for the forest, but I also kind of want to do something other than, just mundane building tasks. So I'm thinking maybe working on that super smelter that I've been putting off for a while so that I can finally get to doing my map arts of sea creatures and various things over my map in my base I can show it in just a second. Over this map, I'm gonna do glass arts. Is someone spinning my maps? Someone has been spinning my maps. Weird. Um, so I'm gonna do glass arts over this stuff, but I've been waiting for to make a super smelter to get that done. And this kind of seems like a perfect opportunity to get a super smelter started because, well, I don't want to keep working on the forest. You can see how much I've done. I've probably placed down like, actually no, I definitely have. I've placed down well over like 300 trees so far. Eh, actually, never mind. My math might be a little bit off because I use 4 saplings for each tree, but in either case, I've placed down a ton of trees, probably at least 100. And I really want to do something else. So I think I'm gonna first I need to figure out where I'm gonna do the super smelter. That's probably the most important thing. I think I'll do it in my cave. That'll be close enough that it's loaded from here, but it also won't be ugly or anything, and I think it makes sense to be in a cave. I think, yeah, I already started gathering some stuff in here. Alright, so I finished the super smelter. I actually finished it before the weekend, just before the weekend, and I had a really busy weekend. I had a nice campfire, just like this one in front of me, and I got to see all sorts of family members that I usually don't see from my extended family. It was a lot of fun, but I'm finally back on the server, and I'm ready to show off the Super Smelter, which is mostly a custom design, except for there's a shulker box loader and a shulker box unloader attached to either side. So the unloader is on the inside, and the loader is on the output side where all the smelted items go. So here it is. It's not pretty, neither is the pathway. I'm thinking of maybe doing like stone bricks, at least for the floor. And I'm not sure what to do with the walls. I'm thinking maybe leaving the walls as they are and doing like kind of a mine shaft kind of look where there's wooden support beams and stuff. It's kind of why I started doing this as like an archway too. But for now, this is what it looks like. Um, I just remembered there's one thing that I didn't quite do yet, which is actually powering these droppers. Before I just had a hopper clock. Before being in my creative test world, I just had a not a hopper clock. What am I talking about? It was two observers. That's what they're called. Two observers facing each other, right next to each of these that were just constantly ticking. Um, but I don't have those in right now because that's very annoying. So over here is the output. All the items come out over here. Will not output until full because it says that because the way the shulker box filler works is until the shulker box is full, it doesn't swap it out and put it in the output here. But there is that's what these buttons are for. These buttons, when you press them, will manually swap the shulker box. So I think it should be okay to do it right now. It'll just be empty. So now we just have this empty shulker box that was in there before. And then we would put that in the barrel. We'll go over there. Yeah. So there's actually 3 shulker boxes right now in each of these two. I have it 2 because there's enough items that if I converged all of the items into one hopper line, then we would start having the items backflowing through the hoppers. And if there's a really large amount of items, like what I'm probably planning on using this for, like for example, 3 shulker boxes of items, then it could over time go all the way back, backflow all the way back to the hoppers underneath these furnaces, starting with the ones closest to this end. And then instead of pulling the smelted items out of the furnace, they would be stuck sitting there because there wouldn't be any room in the hopper below it. And then eventually that might fill up these hoppers up top, and then it would just completely like halt the system, and the furnaces would even stop smelting items. So that wouldn't be very good. That would really slow this down. So I have two different shulker box fillers, and because there's two different ones, that also kind of necessitates having these buttons. So it all works out. I have the buttons so that I can put in any number of items and still get them out. And I also have the buttons so that if I did like exactly one shulker box or exactly two shulker boxes, they might end up a little bit lopsided, like a little bit more items on one side than the other side for some reason, and then I can still get all of the items out instead of just like having one full shulker box and then one almost full shulker box on the other side that I can't access, and a little bit in another shulker box on the side that put out the full shulker box. Okay, so then over here, this is actually the signs on this side. This is the inputs, the stuff that you want to smelt, and it takes shulker boxes only. So even if you're smelting, like, for example, 3 stacks of items, you have to put them all in a shulker box, then you put them up here, and then this system will, once it gets a shulker box, it will place the shulker box, and then uh, empty all the items into this dropper and this hopper, and then it will break the shulker box, and the broken shulker box will end up right here in this barrel. And then this over here is the same design, exactly the same. I copied it exactly the same as the other one, and this one is for the fuel. So I put a little note there. It's an up arrow and bamboo. So when I was testing in the creative test world, uh, I tried using bamboo first because bamboo is probably the easiest burnable thing to renewably farm. And just bamboo without crafting it into anything isn't doesn't power the furnaces for enough time to actually smelt anything, or even, yeah, there's all sorts of junk in these from when I was building. Okay, so just bamboo in the fuel slot doesn't burn long enough for any items to be smelted, but that would be fine if the minecart could deliver the bamboo fast enough before each bamboo or the fuel time for each bamboo burnt out. But because there's so many furnaces, it can't disperse the bamboo that quickly. So I just put a little reminder that says to use any fuel that's better than bamboo. So I'm planning on doing a bamboo farm and crafting all of that into bamboo planks, and then putting that into shulker boxes and loading it into the fuel. Um, and then, um, what was I gonna say? Yeah, so that means that I'm gonna have to build a bamboo farm, which is probably, I don't know when I'm gonna do that actually. Um, I'm kind of gonna have to do that before I use the farm for anything, unless I use a bunch of coal, which, I mean, if I've coal isn't that difficult to get. If I find any kind of mountainous area that doesn't have the dirt and grass, I can just pull coal off the top and use fortune and get a ton. Um, but that's basically my super smelter. Yeah, well, not basically, very complicatedly. So I'm gonna use this to smelt a bunch of glass, and then I'll get to work on my map arts. Okay, welcome to the end of the video. This one took quite a bit longer than I would have liked. I already mentioned that I had a busy weekend, but even before my busy weekend, uh, the button that I hid earlier in the episode was found, and was placed in someone else's base. And you might have noticed a sign uh, near the campfire when I came down here to this area. But that sign was telling me that the button has returned to my base already. It's been moving fast. So in the next episode, I'll probably be finding the button again. Um, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you liked the video, then like the video. If you like the video, also subscribe to my channel. Yeah, please. And comment if you want. Um, bye.